Minnesota lakes are slowly being taken over by an invasive species known as the zebra mussels. They reproduce rapidly, destroying the natural habitat in many lakes and rivers. The effects that zebra mussels have large impacts on many lakes all over Minnesota. These impacts include habitat destruction for organisms in the water, consumption of plankton to compete with the fish for food, along with razor-sharp shells that can cut through just about anything. They are a large threat to Minnesota lakes. We became concerned about the zebra mussels when they spread to Minnesota, so we researched the invasive species and informed others the impacts that they cause. People should have more of a concern about the impacts that zebra mussels have on our freshwater lakes. Today we will further explain the zebra mussels by discussing the problem, the causes, and the solutions we can apply to the problem throughout our everyday lives.
To start off, I'm going to talk about what makes the organism a threat to our bodies of water. Zebra mussels' reproduction rate is through the roof, as well as the damage they are causing. According to the website Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, accessed March 25th, the female zebra mussel can reproduce 100,000 to 500,000 eggs in a single year. This reproduction rate is outrageous and makes it very easy for them to take over lakes, completely covering every hard surface within the lake's reservoir. Zebra mussels have a big impact on our lakes. Some of the minor things they do is attach to the boats and motors, affecting their efficiency. They also attach to other hard surfaces such as swimming platforms, dock posts, and hard bottom surfaces, creating sharp objects for swimmers to get caught on. Some of the more major effects of zebra mussels are that they filter out all the little food particles, making it harder for smaller fish to feed, causing a chain effect. Filtering out all this material creates mass aquatic vegetation growth, which then turns into increased water clarity. According to Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, accessed March 25th, zebra mussels have invaded 121 Minnesota lakes and rivers of Minnesota's 11,000. This is roughly 2% of Minnesota's wetlands. This may seem like nothing, but with multiple rivers and streams connecting from lake to lake, they have the ability to spread further than that. The most deadly way for this creature to spread is by human air. They latch onto the hard surfaces such as the hulls and lower units of boats. The eggs can also be sucked up in the live wells and ballast on board the boat. This is why it is very important to clean your boat after every use. Also, the Department of Natural Resources stated that zebra mussels were first introduced to Minnesota in 1989, when they were found in the harbors of Lake Superior in Duluth, Minnesota. It's been 28 years since this species has entered our waters, and they have already invaded 121 of our lakes. How much further are we going to let them go?
Zebra mussels wouldn't be this big of a problem if they didn't reproduce and spread so fast. They spread by attaching to any hard surface, most commonly boats and trailers. These tiny trespassers were picked up in the ballast waters of ocean-going ships brought into the Great Lakes. They spread from the Great Lakes to Minnesota by hitchhiking on boats and trailers in these areas. It is very critical to clean off your boat and trailer to save an infestation of a new lake. The artificial channels and waterways facilitate the spread of this invasive species. These man-made superhighways act as a great channel for this invasive species to spread. According to the National Wildlife Federation, once zebra mussels establish into a body of water, they are nearly impossible to fully eradicate. They are unable to spread without connecting waterways unless they attach to a boat or trailer. Even buckets of water can contain these zebra mussels, and they can spread to a new body of water. The potential to spread is very high. They can survive for up to 10 days out of the water depending on weather condition. Zebra mussels cause the Great Lakes economy billions of dollars a year in damages by ruining beaches, attaching to intake pipes and other structures.
Now that we've talked a bit about the problems that these invasive species cause and some of the things that cause these problems, I'd like to talk about a few solutions that you as an individual can take. This is especially prevalent for those that you think of fishing or hunting, because if you bring species from a different ecosystem into a new one, it can disrupt the new ecosystem and cause serious problems. An easy way to solve these problems is keep informed. If you stay informed about which invasive species are in your area, or which ones you may be bringing to a new area, it's a lot easier. They also, on most for example, the Minnesota DNR website, give examples of how to deal with these many invasive species. You can also help inform the government of how far they've spread. There is a simple app that I found on the Minnesota website where you can input where you found these new invasive species, and so you can help keep track of where these new invasive species are, and also stay informed yourself of where these invasive species are. You can also help with cleanup. An easy way to help with cleanup is to make sure that whenever you bring like your boat out of the water, you clean it off as according to the Minnesota DNR website, accessed on March 28th, clean all visible plants and animals, drain water-related equipment, and dispose of unwanted bait. This is a very simple thing to do each time you leave the water, and it's a very effective measure against invasive species. So in conclusion, invasive species are a serious problem to ecosystems across the world. It's a very simple solution as well. You can just simply keep track of what's going on near you, which invasive species are affecting you, and then make sure to properly clean all your equipment after usage. So in review, we talked about the problems that these invasive species caused. We talked about a bit of what causes them, and then we talked a few solutions that are very simple and easy for you to do. So I encourage you to go out to your local website on the Department of Natural Resources and find out what invasive species are affecting your area and what you can do to help stop them.